hardest things any pet owner can hear is that their beloved pet has cancer. Cancer is a terrifying disease for people, especially, but it for animals, for owners of animals as well. Luckily, the animals don't have the same perception of it that we do, but for us, it is a horrifying thing to hear. And I think that it takes time after hearing news like that to assimilate it and give yourself time to grieve a little bit and then be able to talk about options and where to go next. For many cancers, chemotherapy is an option. And again, the word chemotherapy is kind of a loaded term in human world. We imagine people who are very, very sick and losing their hair, and how horrifying it is for people. For animals, thankfully, chemotherapy is not that severe. In other words, they do not have the kind of misery throughout chemotherapy that people do. Chemotherapy can have the same potential side effects in the sense that there is the potential for hair loss. However, in animals, for the most part, that means whisker loss and poor hair regrowth, but they don't go bald, okay? They have the potential for nausea associated with vomiting with chemotherapy, and we use anti-nausea medications to pre-treat prior to chemotherapy and also send animals home with them for the first day or so after chemotherapy to control those symptoms. Thankfully, most animals tolerate these drugs with minimal to no side effects. So they can have loss, a low level of cells that are produced by the bone marrow. So those are the red blood cells, the white blood cells, and the platelets. And pretty much every chemotherapeutic drug suppresses those cells. That is going to happen. But we monitor that very, very carefully. We check before we give the drug so that we make sure that they have enough blood cells to tolerate the treatment. And then we check after the treatment, usually a week later. For some drugs, it's about 10 days later. And we want to know how low they actually got. If they get really low on the white blood cells, we'll treat them with antibiotics. But most patients don't. It drops, but then it comes back up again, and they respond really well to it. The take-home message for chemotherapy in animals is that although it is a serious treatment for a serious disease, the side effects can be very manageable. Most patients tolerate it very well, and for many people and many animals, it's a really good option for extending the length of life, but more importantly, the quality of life.